They say you can see it from space. They say it's over 2,000 years old and protected China's northern frontier over a distance of 6,000 kilometers. It's a strategic masterpiece, a monument in stone to a civilization that has survived for millennia. To the world, it is the symbol of China. How much of that is truth? How much is legend? How old is the wall, really? How long is it? And what does this huge structure tell us about the people who built it? One thing's for sure. You can't see the Great Wall from space. This is its true story. In spring 1907, the British adventurer and archaeologist Aurel Stein struggles through one of the most arid landscapes in the world, the Taklamakan Desert. He's following a route that 2,000 years ago brought Asian luxuries to Europe, the legendary Silk Road, the transcontinental trading route of the ancient world. Stein has come from India to look for treasures said to be hidden under the sand of the desert. His expedition is extremely successful. From the buried foundations of Buddhist temples and dried-out oases in the middle of the desert, he uncovers ancient silks, unique scrolls, and priceless statues. Now he and his men are on their way to the Chinese oasis of Dunhuang.
Give me my telescope!
This garrison town has always been a life-saving refuge after the exhausting march through the Taklamakan. The very name Taklamakan means go in and you won't come out.
Give me a camel, quick!
But what Stein sees through his telescope is not the looked-for oasis. He's about to discover an archaeological sensation virtually unknown to the West. About 70 kilometers northwest of Dunhuang Oasis, Aurel Stein has come across the ruins of a gigantic fortress. Stein has discovered the Yumenguan, the Jade Gate. This hulk of clay bricks measures 24 meters by 26 meters. Its walls are 4 meters thick, and it reaches up to a height of 10 meters. Two gates, one in the west and one in the north, lead into the almost rectangular inner courtyard. This is the western end of a 2,000-year-old defensive wall. But this huge earth structure looks nothing like the familiar walled ramparts north of Beijing. Stein believes they're part of ancient China's Great Wall defenses, but he cautiously describes them as the remains of old Chinese road towers. He wrote that he had found the line of an ancient Chinese wall which traversed the desert for a great distance. In many places, it had almost been completely covered by drift sand. But the tamarisk layers which had been used to strengthen the agar cropped up so persistently that the eye caught the straight line as it stretched away for miles on the coarse sand. But what and who was the wall built to protect? Chang'an, 2nd century BC. The emperors of the Han dynasty govern the Middle Kingdom from here. Chang'an is one of the biggest cities of ancient times. 500,000 people live within its mighty walls, a metropolis designed to be the center of the world. But peace in this ordered world is deceptive and expensive. An ancient chronicle reports. When Emperor Wu Di came to the throne, he reaffirmed the peace alliance and treated the Xiongnu with generosity, allowing them to trade and sending them lavish gifts. The Xiongnu were a powerful nomadic people living in the endless steppes of today's Mongolia. The Chinese considered them to be barbarians, and they had already suffered bloody defeats at the hands of these skilled horsemen. It seemed like a good idea to buy off the barbarians with generous gifts. Wagon loads of the best silk, wine, and grain regularly left the capital for the journey north. But the dearly bought peace is not accepted by everyone. It is a burden on the finances of the state, and it also demands sacrifices from the leading families of the empire. The tribal chiefs of the Xiongnu want more than silk and other precious goods. They also demand the daughters of Chinese nobles as wives. The Chinese call this policy of tributes and marriages He-Chin, peaceful and friendly relations. But what's the alternative? The region where the Yellow River makes its great arch through northern China had been disputed by both cultures for centuries. This Ordos region lent itself to cultivation by Chinese farmers, but also to the roaming nomadic horse breeders. Year in, year out, Chinese farmers were victims of the same bloody ritual. Through the spring and summer, they would work tirelessly in their fields until the harvest was complete. And in the fall, the warriors from the north would ride in and plunder everything. The nomads needed to take what they couldn't grow, supplies to help them survive the long, cold winter of the steppes. They needed grain to eat and iron to fight with. These murderous raids had threatened the stability of the empire and the very power base of the Han dynasty. The political marriages that followed were the lesser evil, even if they involved a serious loss of face. To the Chinese, the nomads were savages. They could only be despised. What else could they think of people who foretold the future with sheep's bones, who had no writing, and who lived not in permanent cities, but in tents? But in 209 BC, one clan chieftain united the tribes that till then had warred among themselves. This nomad king called himself Shen Yu, the equivalent of emperor. The tributes from the Middle Kingdom flowed into the Shen Yu's coffers, reinforcing his control of the nomad tribes.